Dear students, I am going to dictate a passage relating to shorthand, that is 90 words per minute. 5 seconds. Start. Mr. Chairman, Sir, there is a resolution on the support price for agricultural products. Now there is need for it. It is not a matter of debate. We know the plight of the farmers who produce various crops. We know that the farmers in our country, not only after independence but before that too, were the victims of the middlemen who just extracted all benefits out of them. As our country is mainly dominated by the rural economy and the contribution of agriculture to the national income is very high for the development of the country as a whole. It is the duty of the government and it is the duty of all of us to see that the agriculturalists get remunerative prices for their products. The problem is that if we go on giving support price to agricultural products, will it serve the purpose for which we have adopted the path of planned development? What we want is increase in agricultural production. What we want is employment generation, and what we want is distribution of income. That is the goal of the economy and the society which our constitution has guaranteed for us. For the last few years, attention has been given to give support prices for agricultural products. But if we analyze the situation, we all see that it is the food grains only that have been given more importance than other products. This pricing policy has created an imbalance in our economy, an imbalance in the agricultural sector. Because of the advantages that have been given to these products, our farmers are more inclined to produce food grains than other crops. That explains the position why the prices of edible and non-edible oils or other things have increased in our country. The resolution that has come here, it not only wants the government to announce support prices of different crops at least 3 months before the sowing season, but it also urges upon the government to make available the agricultural inputs and implements at reasonable prices and purchase the entire produce of the farmers. It is here that I want to lay the emphasis. The previous government announced the prices of agricultural products. This government too, standing upon the logic of bridging the gap between the urban area and the rural area, has decided to allot 50% of its funds for the rural economy and have laid emphasis upon the agricultural sector. The pricing policy that has been recently announced raises a doubt in my mind, whom will it benefit? The marginal farmers, the poor farmers, the laborers who are engaged in agriculture. They will never be benefited. I would have been happy if I could say yes, it will give them benefit, but no, I am not in a position to do that. The prices have been increased. I was going through an article and statistics have been given as to who will the beneficiaries of the new policy. The beneficiaries of the new policy would be 2.2 million farmers with holdings exceeding 10 hectares. Next will come 13.4 million farmers who cultivate 1 or 2 acres of land. The price incentive will largely bypass the estimated 10 million farmers of 1 acre holding only. There are too small to have the surplus in the market. For these poor marginal farmers and landless laborers, incentive price will mean dearer food grains. So what the government should do is to enhance the production. It should stress upon increasing the productivity in agricultural produce, and the way to do that it is not only to give support price to the agriculturists, taking into account the escalation in the cost of inputs, but also the government should take into consideration the consumer price index in a given situation or in a given period that may cover the entire thing and that may give us a rational price that is to be given to the agriculturists. The policy of the government is that the input costs are taken into account and the minimum statutory wages that are guaranteed by the government in its legislation are also taken into account. Managerial cost and over and above the expenditure has also been taken into account in modalities. If price is computed in this way, do you think that the poor or marginal farmers will benefit from this? The situation could be that this will not enable the poor farmers to have their consumable goods from the market. In order to avoid this situation, a total outlook of the policy is required. As I said, there is an immense balance in agricultural development. The scant attention to irrigation and water management for dry crops have created this imbalance. I am not going into the details of all these things. My friend will speak on this. I want the government to look into this thing. Though there will be the support price, but it is not going to do good to the poorest of the poor living in the rural areas. Stop. Dear students,